Morning light in Loki's eyes, plots and schemes under blue skies. Mischief maker on the rise, can't disguise, can't disguise. Orville nation soaring high, positively positive we fly. Never give up, fight the fight. Sky's the limit, aim the sight. Skull Valhalla, here we stand, together strong, hand in hand. Stay positive through the land, fight the good fight till the end. PJ's on as dawn breaks, dreams of victory, no mistakes. In our hearts the courage wakes, step by step trail we make. In Valhalla we'll arrive, through the storm we will thrive. All for one and one for all, hear our call, hear our call. Skull Valhalla, here we stand, together strong, hand in hand. Stay positive through the land, fight the good fight till the end.
Welcome to Positively Positive.
PJ's on as dawn breaks, dreams of victory, no mistakes. In our hearts the courage wakes, step by step trail we make. In Valhalla we'll arrive, through the storm we will thrive. All for one and one for all, hear our call, hear our call. Skull Valhalla, here we stand, together strong, hand in hand. Stay positive through the land, fight the good fight till the end.
Oh, it was immediately, Pops, it was immediately like I wanted something New Orleans. I wanted like jazz, something, something fun and cool, something like, something that Seth MacFarlane would come up with for like, the opening of the funny show, all because of this guy right here. So, because PJ, Orville Nation.
It is very Seth. It is very Seth. He'd be singing it, I think.
How are you doing, brother? Good morning.
Good morning. I saw you guys before. Oh shit, I forgot. I got to do the Loki I got to do the Loki Zeropian thing here. Shit.
And put the shades on.
All I got is my Jack O'Neill off-world goggles right here. That's all I got.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Get the Jack O'Neill, the Stargate goggles going.
And in honor of you and Zeropium, by the way, you guys had a great show before.
Thank you very much. It was great. It was fun.
And I'm sharing this out, by the way, real quick, guys. Do Loki a favor and share out the stream. Sharing out is probably as good as giving them a super chat.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, what do we got? We got some talk we're going to do today, but let me welcome everybody in here. Let's see. Let's go back to the very beginning. PJ was the first one in the door. Of course he was. Akimi Mara, good morning, good afternoon. It is still morning there. It should be. You're in Texas. It's 11. Good morning, Juliet. Good evening, Juliet. Nice to see you. Mary's game room is here. Good morning, Mary. Mark, the infinitely tired, says, "G'day, El." Oh, it's the wrong Mark. My bad. Mark Smash. That's more Mark. Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches, is here. Good morning. Good morning, Chris. Good morning again. Good to see you. Thank you, good gentlemen, so much for being here and for wrenching for us today. We can't do this job without some awesome wrenches. At least we can't do it and pay attention to everything that's going on at the same time. Very much appreciate you guys for taking the time to do this. Maria, I don't know why I said Mary. Maria with Tea and Telly, What is up? I once knew a girl named Maria that I accidentally called Mary. I'm sure she's gonna kill me now. No, I'm just kidding. Good, good morning, Maria. Hopefully you're doing well. We're kicking butt and taking names. Apollome's minion in the door. Good morning, Apollome. I hope Puppers is okay and doing well. Hope y'all are traveling safe. Psychodorp 9. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. It's always good to see you. Thank you for being here. Pops, what is going on? Pops, guys, if you haven't watched Talk Hard on Tuesday, check us out. We have fun. It's me, Pops, Ironcaster, Squeak a Mouse, and we sometimes even have a guest on to come and hang out with us and do things. The lovely Sherry. What is up, Sherry? Good morning. Good morning if it's still morning there. If it's afternoon, I'm sorry. Good afternoon. All right. Okay, and Pats. Let's not miss Pats. It's Pats. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So, Loki, what's this about? Freedom versus control. There's been a lot of stuff. PJ messages me and he's like, dude, what about this idea about, control versus freedom versus control? And I was like, no, that works. That works. I like the idea of that because we were just talking about AI and it seems like we've had a lot of, we're going to shape the truth into what we want and we're going to mold the truth into what we want. And if you don't like that, well, you might just be censored. And there's been a lot of censorship going on lately and a lot of people fighting against censorship. In fact, PJ, you brought up that someone was just arrested in France as soon as they got off their plane for not censoring things.
That guy, the founder, one of the co-founders of Telegram, who's the CEO of Telegram, Pavel, I forget his last name. He's been arrested for, there's a lot of fraud going on Telegram, but it's an excuse basically to arrest them because they say they're not doing enough to control the fraud. I think it makes more sense to work with Telegram. For the European Union to work with Telegram instead of arresting the CEO.
It seems kind of crazy. It's more like, you will do what we want or we will throw you behind bars. And that's not in any way, shape, or form freedom of speech. That's anti-freedom of speech.
Very much so. And I think the concept of freedom and control has been very powerful this week in so many different ways. I think it's become in American politics. I think, for example, people are like, oh, there's this left and right, and what are all these Democrats? Why are all these Democrats supporting Trump? What's going on here? It's not about left and right. The people who are awakened are seeing control versus or freedom, versus freedom, and it's coming down to that. It's not about left and right anymore. It's about do you want to live in a democracy or not?
And that's insanity. You would think that the push for the truth, the push for honesty, would be the big thing. We want to find out the truth instead of hiding the truth, instead of burying the truth. And Apollome, thank you so very much. I hope you saw the roses. I threw you out there some roses. Thank you so very much, Apollome. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to get it, and I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to show it. I want to show it off when it comes in. Thank you so very much. That is so very sweet and generous of you. I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it.
Oh, Loki, before I forget, can I say something?
Yeah.
Guys, our friend Maria Tiantelli is trying to manifest something very, very important in her life. And if we can send your energy, your prayer, to help her to manifest what she needs to manifest this week. Send that energy to her, and I think it's something very beneficial for her, something very good for her and her family. So I can't say what it is, but if you guys can just take a second and send the intention. Intention is so powerful. Please take a second to do that. Thank you, guys.
I think your mic's off a little bit. Maria's like,
is it?
Hey, BJ, can you fix your sound? It sounds off.
Okay.
I know you were breathing real heavy a minute ago. At least that's the way it sounded. I don't know if it's something's messed up or.
Sorry. What about Maria? Does it sound better now? Do I sound better? Imagine if Kamala took questions.
Well, some people don't want questions being asked. Some people don't want you to ask questions. Some people don't want you to think on your own. Just listen and consume and just believe everything they're telling you. I don't want to get too political today, but one of the craziest things I've seen is and this has been lately, this has been over the past couple of months, everything was fine. If anybody remembers, everything was fine. The economy was fine. Jobs were fine. Everything was fine. And now you've got somebody saying, we're going to fix this. But you've been in office for the past 3.5 years and you were a part of all this and everything was fine before. That was everybody's excuse, was everything's fine, situation normal. And now it's only she can fix all these things that are wrong. But you've just spent the last 3 years telling us none of these things were wrong and everything was fine. So what is the truth? Is the truth subjective, or is there a real truth out there that we have been in deep shit for the past 3 years and it's just nobody wanted to admit it and put it out there? And if you did, you were a conspiracy theorist in a nut job.
I think it's kind of funny. Yeah. Everybody's a nut job. I think it's kind of funny that the person that's been chosen, excuse me, on the left. And again, I do not want to be political because I am not political, but I think it's funny that that person is the person that they didn't even want to, to have a prominent role in the administration because they don't trust her. So,
yeah. And Lady Mist, the guardian of the void, Lady Mist says, Maria Tiantelli, hello, hoping everything goes well. Absolutely. Absolutely. You need to talk more. Mama Telly says Loki has an awesome voice. Oh, thank you, Mama Telly.
He does, so doesn't he, Mama Telly? He's going to be huge in radio. Loki's
a face for radio.
Is my mic better, Maria, by the way?
You sound better. You sound better. This is what everybody... Oh, there you go. That's what everybody used to get. Nobody used to know what I look like. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on camera. Forget it. I own a camera. I don't know why I don't go on camera. In the beginning, it was basically like, well, if anybody ever recognized me, Loki used to do some work in prisons. And the first thing they teach you when you go to work in a prison is don't ever let anybody know, like, the area you live in or talk about your personal life or any of that stuff. Because you need to imagine that as soon as any of these guys get out, they're going to come straight to your home and do bad things. So that was my rationale for, you know what, I'm just going to not put myself out there. And then eventually I was like, you know what, screw it. Enough people have seen me anyway. So starting at the Vegas meetup years ago when Neurotic was like, hey, who are you? I'm like, it's Loki. He goes, oh crap, do you want me to edit this? So he goes, well, I can't, I'm live. I'm like, don't worry about it.
I thought, I'm just glad to find out you're not a vampire. I thought you were afraid you wouldn't show up on camera or something.
No, I'm not a vampire or werewolf or anything like that. Just an old biker that doesn't bike anymore. So I was talking to somebody about that. Why don't you ride anymore? After the accident, I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that again.
You would be surprised how good the organ donation programs are in Southern Europe due to motorcycle accidents.
Oh, I can imagine.
In Italy and Spain and Greece and Portugal, unfortunately.
And I was very proud. I was like, you know what? I'm a really good rider. I was a really good rider. I enjoyed it. I had experience, and it doesn't matter. None of that matters when someone's coming at you head on, and it's either go off the road or get hit by a car. So.
Now, well, again, Loki and I want to put always a positive spin on anything we're talking about. So don't misunderstand us for like complaining or bitching and whining. What we want to do is focus on the positivity and to remember listen, if people are awakening to the fact that they need to protect their freedom of speech, their rights, their everything, they need to protect our way of life. Then our obligation is to go out and awaken 10 other people.
And imagine this. Imagine, and I'm not going to use any specific side or anything like that because that's not what this is about. But imagine if you didn't have a choice in who you voted for, if you didn't have a choice who your leaders are, if you didn't have a choice what direction your country went in, if all of that was made for you and you were just kind of like, I'm here and I'm along for the ride, and one side and that's it. They completely dictate what you get to say and what you get to do. Doesn't matter what side it is. Back in the late 90s, I completely disagreed with the other side because they wanted to censor everything, and they wanted to censor video games, and they wanted to censor all this content and say you can't put this on TV and you can't put that on TV. And I hated that. I absolutely hated that. And now it's the other side doing that, saying you can't say this, you can't say that. Before we got started, we were talking about there is a soccer team in Australia that you can be fined $111,000 just for talking about them. I think they're called the Bat Wings or the Bat something, the Bat Shoe. I can't remember exactly what their name is, but $111,000 fine. If you are a team and you do not play them, you forfeit, then your team can be removed from the league because you forfeited a game against them because you didn't want to play them. And guess what? Their roster is completely full of. It's not girls because it's supposed to be girls soccer, but it's not girls. $111,000 fine in Australia. If you even talk about this, and the possible dissolution of your team if you forfeit and decide, well, we're not going to play them. That's insanity.
Man, I hope I hope they don't come after Loki for saying it. But yeah, listen, guys, at some point common sense needs to take over. And people, there is a place, and everybody's rights need to be looked at and protected and considered. But you cannot, as long as people are not infringing on others, right?
Right. And as long as you're not hurting kids, those are two things that are huge for me. Don't hurt kids. You don't go after kids, and don't infringe on other people's rights. And if you're in a country that doesn't have freedom of speech, I would seriously consider leaving to one that does. Unfortunately, we are in a huge fight here in the States right now between whether we're going to get to keep that, even though it is defined in our laws and our Constitution that we have freedom of speech. They are slowly eroding that and trying to take it away, just like other freedoms we are afforded in this country, because they deem they know better than you. I'm sorry if people are mean. Some people are going to be mean. I don't know when we got to this time where it's like, you cannot be mean to other people. There are always going to be mean people out there that say mean things. That's just the way life is. I don't know when we got this protective bubble around us saying we cannot hear or say anything that's mean. There's always going to be mean people that talk crap, that are mean, that want to be mean. That's their choice in life.
If I can add something to that, Loki,
yeah.
I think that improving how we treat each other as humanity progresses and evolves is essential. But it has to be done. Improving how we treat each other has to be done through growth, not through control. Like Loki said, people need to have the right to be who they are. And if we want to improve, go ahead. You want to read that?
Thank you, Akimi. Thank you so very much for coming. Thank you for being here. Go ahead, BJ. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. Hey, that's not the Akemi I know, is it?
That's Akimi Mara.
Oh, okay. So yeah, yes, do we have to be better? Do we have to be better people? Do we have to do I have to work on myself? Do we need to grow? Yeah, but we can't be controlled into it. We need to grow on our own.
Yeah, and we need to grow on our own and figure things out. And instead of that, it is, well, we're going to force it down your throat. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Look, you can be the nicest person in the world. You can be absolutely positive 100% of the time, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Positively positive, Loki?
Positively positive, PJ. That doesn't mean that everybody else has to. And you can't enforce that on everybody. One of the movies I used to love back in the day was Demolition Man, and you got all these people running around. We'll experience joy feelings with all those around you, and all this just like you're just like, what seems to be your boggle, sir? And Wesley Snipes just comes in. He's like, my boggle. How much do you weigh? And throws this guy through this wall and does all this stuff because they're out of time and they don't subscribe to any of this BS that they floated for the last so many years. The point is that they couldn't stop him from being him. And this drive, this need to control everybody and decide that you have to be this way that we want you to be. No, we're human beings. We're going to be however we want to be. That's just the nature of being a human being. And guess what? If someone comes along with a bigger stick, guess what's going to happen? All your platitudes and all your nicitudes and all these things that you want to promote and push and do all this stuff, when suddenly someone else is in charge and they wield the bigger stick, they decide what's going to happen. Not you, not anybody else. And that is the position you're putting yourself in is, well, I could go from, oh, we want to be joy feelings and niceties to someone ruling over you that doesn't care anything about that, doesn't have your best interest in line at all. And suddenly the shoe's on the other foot. But guess what? You put yourself into such a corner from all this censorship and all this control and all this BS that suddenly there's nothing you can do about it. But every time that gets brought up, PJ, it seems like they're just like, that'll never happen. Sure it won't.
It could. Yeah, it could. And there's people who want it to happen.
No, yeah, absolutely. There are people that want it to happen. There are plenty of people that want to come in and take over and control everything and do not want to do things your way, and they won't. And if you stand up and you say something, they will put you down because that's the way they want to do it. Pop Cotton says, if you're in the public eye, you're free game. It's the price of fame. That's why for the last 4.5 years, I've just kind of put everything out there. I've talked about all the bull crap I deal with because there is no trying to hide it. If I've talked about everything, what can anybody stir up, throw at me? I've talked about my ex-wife. I've talked about my kids. I've talked about the situation I was in before I met Eris. She knows all about that. So by all means, throw crap at me, see what sticks. Oh, it'll be so shocking. I've already talked about it all over the last 4.5 years. I ain't got nothing to hide.
I'm just throwing stuff at Loki, see what sticks.
I don't have any paper to bounce off. At least I don't think I do. I got this little thing from like a headache medicine.
Imagine if we did that really well, it'd be kind of cool. Yeah. What you know what I'm gonna do next time, Loki? Next time I'm gonna pour you a glass of wine here. We'll figure that out.
You can hand me a big gulp, and I'll be like, "Oh, thank you, sir."
Now, the solution to this, when we're going to talk about stuff on Positively Positive, it's because we also see a path forward, right? And right. The path forward is to be positive, to be happy, to live your life, to respect others, to be the best person you can be. And if you are a pillar of positivity in your world, in your little corner of the universe, you're going to have that positive ripple effect. And we don't have to experience this control. There was times during, if we just take an extreme situation like the Second World War, right? There were areas of the world in the Second World War that didn't even know the Second World War was going on.
That's right.
So like, even if something crazy is going on somewhere on the planet, guys, it's important. Like, we should be concerned about it and be involved to resolve it, et cetera, et cetera. But you need to go about your daily life being happy, being joyful, experience life in its fullest. We are here to experience life. And it's important for people not to get too caught up in any kind of negativity, that negativity you should not let it impact your personal life. Sorry.
And no, don't apologize. It can. Guys, I want to tell you something. 2018 was horrible for me. 2018 was absolutely horrible. Got in a motorcycle accident. I was down for almost a year. I contemplated just saying screw it all, and I didn't know what kind of future I would have. I didn't know what kind of, if I had anything to look forward to. There was all kinds of junk going on up here that I had to deal with, and 6 years later, I am in a totally different place. I have a totally different life. I am happy. I am married. I have a family. I'm not anywhere close to where I was 6 years ago. And the difference is mind-boggling. The difference is staggering, because I didn't stop going, you know what? I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to fight. I'm not going to give up. And that's what got me here, was saying I'm going to fight and I'm not going to give up. There's something better than this, damn it. And keeping that positive attitude that I'm going to, if I don't have something to look forward to, I'm going to make something to look forward to. And that is what you have to do. You have to make something to look forward to, and something to fight for, and something to push for. And if fighting for your freedom of speech, if fighting to say, you know what, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say something, does that, then by all means do it. Get on your microphone and do it. If that helps, get out there and get on it and get that help. Whatever it is you need, it's never too late to push forward and go, you know what, I'm gonna keep kicking ass and taking names, because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just sharing this out the stream. And don't be a negative Nancy. I love DJ Ronnie's streams, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. DJ Ronnie's great. Absolutely great. Have you ever met him?
We have not met, but we're like neighbors.
Great guy. Absolutely wonderful guy. You should, if you ever get a chance to hang out with DJ, stop and get a drink or have a lunch or whatever. Absolutely. Mary's Game Room says staying negative never helps anything. So long as it does not help yourself, and it does not help others sticking with you. Positive attitude is the way to go. Everyone is blessed just by living. YOLO.
Absolutely,
YOLO,
Mary.
YOLO.
By the way, Loki, I think one thing that's helped you a lot too is that in this medium that you're doing, you are touching many lives. And I think that you have been a very positive influence upon many people. And I think that when we live in service of others, I think we also benefit from that. And I think that do you think that's helped you to be in service of others?
I think that they've helped me. It's not me helping them, it's them helping me. Maybe rediscovered my humanity a little bit. I don't know. I always looked at this like, you know what, I'm going to go out for an hour and I'm going to entertain for an hour in the morning. That's Mornings of Mischief. That's what Mornings of Mischief was originally all about. Was I'm gonna go out and entertain for an hour. For a while, it was I'm gonna go out and be on my soapbox. For a while, it was I'm gonna go out and see what I can do to help. I'm gonna go out and see what I can do to make people smile. I'm gonna go out and see if I can give a little hope. I'm gonna go out and see if I can encourage others to get on their microphone and say something. But I think everybody out there has helped me a lot more than I've helped them. Some people will argue that and be like, but Loki, you did this and you did that and you blah, 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 blah. I think you guys have helped me a lot more than I've helped others. I try. I do my very best.
I think it goes both ways. I think you are very loved. I think you are, and I'm not here to blow smoke up on Loki, but I think Loki is very loved. And if you guys love Loki, put a heart in the chat. Put a little heart in the chat for Loki.
Put a double heart in the chat for PJ. Put 2 hearts in chat for PJ. If you can use the, I don't know if I have. No, I don't.
Yeah, Psycho Dwarf.
Holy crap. Thank you guys. I see all the hearts flying. Thank you very much. Oh, Project Cambrian put cucumbers. Nice.
What are those for? What are the cucumbers for?
I don't know. Hopefully not what I think it is. Penny double heart. A double heart from Penny. A heart and a double heart from Chris Berger, the Wrench of Wrenches. Cambrian's just like, ah. But it's your choice. At the end of the day, it's your choice. I mean, I was dealing with a guy that was very negative for a while. He was very negative, and I was like, look, you've just got to go out there, and it's your responsibility to change that. And you've got to go out there and you've got to do this. You know, if this is what you want to do, get out there and do it. And well, how can I do it when I'm feeling so crappy? Find solace or fun in the fact that you're going out there and you're entertaining people and you're having fun. Try and have some fun. Well, that's really difficult. How do you not have fun when you go on a live stream with like a group of people to have fun? I don't understand that. I can't get that. Maybe this isn't for you then. Find something else. I don't want to find anything else. I want to do this. Well, then try and find a way to have fun with it. And not be negative. Stay positive. Maybe that's what you need. Maybe you need to be a little more positive. I don't know how to do that. Well, I find a girl or a guy, either one, whatever floats your boat. God help me. Whatever makes you happy, find your happy. Because I don't think you can do this and just be nothing but angry all the time. I'm sure a couple of people have, and they monetized the shit out of that, made some money off of it.
And it's burning them out, Loki.
Yeah.
It's burning them out. And we know we know people who are, have certain level of success, and it's burning them out doing it that way. And they can pivot. They think they can't pivot, but they can. They can pivot.
I know a guy that got 100,000 subscribers in a little under a year. And he is one hell of an alcoholic. I mean, drinky. And he is not happy. And why aren't you happy? Oh, I got to deal with this, and I got to deal with that, and I got to look at this. And I'm like, you would think, you've got all this attention and all these subscribers and all this money coming in. You would think you would be happy. Guy just bought a house not too long ago, not happy. And I'm just like, there are people that'd be killed. They would kill to be in the position you're in, not happy. Well, maybe that's why I like being where I'm at now.
But it really is all how you handle stuff and how you prioritize your life. And obviously different levels of success give you different problems, right? Maybe you have the problems of a big channel instead of the problems of a small or medium channel. And yeah, but if you just remember that, like Loki says, if you're not, if you're going to do this, have fun with it.
Yeah.
And in general, having the fun, and we're not just talking about YouTube, but having that fun in your life and living a fulfilled life, the reason I was going on and on about it is because that squashes control. Because when you build your little universe, you have this little ripple effect on everybody and on your own perception of the universe. And there can be all kinds of stuff going on, and there can be these supervillains trying to bond the supervillains, like trying to control the world, but it doesn't need to work out for them.
No, no, no. And I had another guy, PJ, tell me that it's supposed to be a job. It's not meant to be fun. I'm like, yeah, but it could be the funnest job.
God damn it, Loki! Did you punch in today before the stream? Did you forget to punch in today?
I don't know what you're talking about. I punched in. But why are you worried about that? I don't know. If it's all about money, but they don't want to admit it's all about money. If it's all about money, then just come out and say, well, this is a job and it's about money. Instead of saying, this is all about you. It's all about you guys. Everything's about you guys. Everything's about you out there listening to us. It's all about you. When in reality, in the back, it's how much money I got to start making more money. Otherwise, this isn't going to be worth it. I'm not going to be able to do this anymore while I work my other 3 jobs where I make money. And I'm like, God, help me, man.
I remember not so much anymore, but before when Gary Nerdrotic was doing stuff more on his own. And I to be honest, I actually liked his channel when he was doing stuff more on his own. I remember that like Gary would show up late sometimes, and he'd be like, "Dude, I was late because I was taking my kid to practice or whatever," and blah blah blah. And I was 20 minutes late because of or whatever. And listen, you have to make if we're talking to YouTubers and creators here, you need to make this fit into your life, right? You need to make this fit into your life. You need to be. It can't be the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I part-time on another channel, and we did stuff all weekend. So I think I did like 8 recordings for 8 different videos this weekend. If you're there, man, you know what? I'm here. Let's rock. That's just the way it works. You could be like, yeah, but Loki, I don't like doing anything on my weekend. I like just blah, 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 blah. It doesn't always work out like that. When you got to go, you go. When you got to jump on something, jump on something. That's part of the job. That's part of doing this. So you make it work for you, but sometimes when you got to go, you got to go. That's part of the way this works. I don't do a lot of super late night stuff. I've only got 3 shows. One of them's kind of like a if show. It might happen, it might not happen. It all depends on how my co-host is feeling. The other 2, though, are usually every week. And that's the Comic Book Roundtable and the Late Show with Snowdub. We didn't do it last week because Snowdub lost his puppy. And I wasn't sure if he was okay to do it or not. But, stuff happens. And you tuck and roll, as Snowdub says. You tuck and roll into what you're doing.
Let me ask you a question, Loki. What's your plan B? And I think you're streaming on Rumble too. Is Rumble your plan B in case Loki's Mornings of Mischief ever got controlled or demonetized or whatever?
They can, if they want to. You know what? If the YouTube thing got demonetized, we'd still go live every day. That isn't going to stop me from going live on YouTube and on Rumble or on Twitter or anything else. As far as money goes, that would suck because with StreamYards, with what I pay yearly for StreamYards, what I pay yearly for the video editor, what I pay for the storage on Google Drive, you add everything up, you ask the cost of everything up, I'd probably spend about $1,500 to $2,000 a year just to run the show. So that would really suck because I probably wouldn't make that back in a year on Rumble, Twitter, anything like that. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. I couldn't do it the way I do it now. I know that. Would I have to start a channel? Probably. Could I do the Monday through Friday thing? Yeah, but pretty much everything else would probably go away. I could probably do the live stream still on this channel, but everything else would go away and I'd have to focus on another channel. I'd have to build another channel up from scratch. Rumble's not going to cover that. So this month I looked at what I've made on Rumble since I started doing Rumble. And I think I've been doing Rumble for about a year now. And as of today, I've made what I usually make in a month on YouTube over the last year. It's not viable.
Yeah. Yeah. What about Twitter? Have you, there are some people doing okay on Twitter.
There are absolutely some people doing okay on Twitter and making some money.
That's true. They're paying the premium plus every month, but they're getting it back and more.
Yep. Because they're getting all the interactions from it. They're getting all the interactions for it. So you need so many interactions on Twitter to do subscriptions and private videos and all that fun jazz. And they make ad revenue off that too. So I don't blame it at all for doing it. I know Critical is one of those guys that makes a good chunk of change on Twitter. So
he's doing good.
We get pretty good views on Twitter. We could probably do if I pivoted, possibly do something on Twitter. I'm really hoping, or X, it's called X now. I really hope Elon does what I'm thinking he's going to do and puts up a real challenge to YouTube and the alphabet. I really hope he does. If YouTube's listening to me right now going, tisk, 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 competition is the spice of life and you'll probably get a lot out of it. So think about that. Nobody else really competes. People can say Rumble is a competing factor. Not yet. Not probably for another 10 to 20 years. They need to grow more. They need to grow more, fight, add more things, and do new things that YouTube's not doing. That's one thing Elon could do right now with X, is do things that YouTube's not doing.
Yeah.
Grok alone is worth the premium free photo generator that is really good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can create some crazy looking stuff on there, too. You can absolutely positively create some crazy looking stuff. Like, Loki, are you being naughty again? No, I'm not. Not at all. You can't be naughty with Grok. So there's other stuff you can go find if you want to do all that. Just crazy jazz. But you can make some pretty cool pictures with X.
I love the music you made, Loki. I love that music.
Oh, that was so fun to do. Because I wanted a real New Orleans jazz, just like a... What was I thinking about? The Mooch song. Do you remember that? Was it Minnie the Mooch? Minnie the Mooch. I think it's called Minnie the Mooch.
Okay. I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is, but
it's the song at the end of the Blues Brothers. The one that the man who raised them.
Okay.
I wanted something, New Orleans jazz something old school, because Seth is into all that stuff. And I was like, man, that'd go great with PJ,
Yeah. Oh, you guys, what's if you guys are ever in that area, they're going to see Seth sing in person is a fun activity that a lot of Orville fans have done. You can go see him at that lounge. I forget what the name of the lounge is.
Cab Calloway. Thank you. Pops. Yes, it's Cab Calloway. I think it's Minnie the Mooch. Hody, hody, hee, hooty, hooty, ah, hody, hody, oh. Yes. Howdy, howdy, hee. Thank you, Project Cambrian. Something like that. Something. I wanted something jazzy and fun. And yeah, you can do crazy stuff with AI. Did you see the romance videos with Orange Man Bad and Kamala Harris? Where they're
I didn't see it.
They're kissing in front of the White House and they're kissing at a press conference. And you're like, what? And it looks real.
Wow.
Which
really?
Zero brought up this morning. How could they do the face of Ash from Alien so bad in the new Alien movie when they can do some crazy AI stuff that's like, that looks real, that's believable, that you're like, wow. Can't believe that.
Yeah, some of that
Minnie,
stuff is crazy.
Minnie the Moocher. Thank you. That's the name of the song.
Thank you,
Minnie the
Pops.
Moocher. Thank you, Pops. I should know. I had the album like right behind me up there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Now we also had, as far as control, we also had the whole thing with the European Union threatening Elon Musk as well over the airing of the Donald Trump interview that he did,
Yep, and
and
they even
that's
tried to shut
crazy
him
too.
down.
But
They
thank
got
God that Elon
DDoS
is,
attacked.
yeah, and thank God Elon is a little harder to push around, because that poor guy from Telegram got arrested. But
But what?
no, it's. I guess I guess the takeaway I want from today is that it's important for first of all, people not to get, for it's important for people not to react, not a knee jerk reaction, but to respond in a controlled and positive way to all this, in a constructive way, and to make sure that in your corner of the universe, your rights are protected, and you're standing up and you're spreading the message, and you're awakening people too. There's people who do not realize that some of this is going on. There's people who don't realize that life is changing. You know what's the big danger? The big danger is not for you or me and most of the people in this chat. The real danger is that people who are growing up now, people who are kids and teenagers, that they grow up thinking that all this is normal.
Yep.
That's the real danger.
Yep. Well, imagine this. I mean, you don't have to imagine this because you got that. DJ Ronnie G brings up a point. At some point, the rest of the world needs to say, screw you, Rex. Imagine this. Colonialism is bad. Okay, they keep pushing this whole thing. Colonialism was bad, and you should be regretful, and you should be sorry, and you should be on your knees, saying how sorry you are, and yada yada yada. Right? But then they're completely okay with forcing their opinion on the rest of the world. Tell me how that's okay. You must follow our rules. Everyone must follow our rules and live the way we dictate to them. How's that any better than, well, we're going to go into this area and we're going to take it over and we're going to have our base of operations here and we're going to set up a colony here? How is that any different than that? Telling the entire world, you have to play by our rules instead of your own. Otherwise, we will come after you. There's absolutely positively no difference. And these are the same people that'll tell you one thing while blowing smoke up your ass in the other.
You know, one thing that I saw recently that I thought addressed this a little bit was that the new Kevin Costner Horizon, the American Saga movie, which is very well done. It's a little realistic, so sometimes it's a little hard to watch for some people, but it does show that that we all have our flaws. Europeans colonialism. Had American colonialism of the West had their flaws, but the native peoples as well were also not perfect, and some of the native peoples were also very warring, and not all the tribes, but some of them. So like, it's there needs to be clarity on on the whole colonialism issue. There's things that were done wrong by our ancestors, right? And but we can do things better now. And it's this whole thing about guilt for people in the present who weren't even present back then is not going to do anybody any good.
And a lot of people bring up the American Indians with all of this. A lot of the American Indian tribes, the hunter-gatherer tribes like the Cherokee, they had a couple hundred people. That was it. We're not talking about thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands. Why? Because they were small communal tribes. Okay? The agricultural tribes, the tribes that lived off of fruits, veggies, did some hunting, had some meat, those got bigger. Those usually got much bigger than the hunter-gatherer tribes. But the tribes had to stay small because they had to be mobile and they had to move quick, and they only had so many people that they could feed. Okay, numbers were determined by survivability. And what is our max number do we think we can feed, clothe, yada, yada, yada. And that's how they did things. But they often fought with the tribes next door. They had their own problems. They had their own stuff going on. They had their own wars happening.
They had a lot going on, yeah.
So don't think, oh, well, white man showed up and taught them how to kill each other. That ain't the way it worked. Psychodorf 9 with $2 super chat. Present for you. Check your DM. Thank you, Psychodorf 9 for that $2 super chat, brother. I will check my DM.
And DJ says that your insight on the nomadic tribes is actually, that's a very good point. Actually, they were kept to a certain size, and there may have been several nomadic groups of one tribe, right? But yeah, that's a good point you made about the nomadic groups.
Thank you. Pops sent this. Apparently, that's me. At least I think it's me.
Is it?
Is it me? Awesome. Did you AI me into an old photo? Pops. And
you want to hear some breaking? So that's new. Is that Pops using AI on?
I do believe so. Sent DM of the Loki as a jazz performer photo. I don't have a pic to work. PJ pick to work with. Thank you, Pops. That is crazy. I didn't see. That's one of the things I'm talking about. That came from Psychodorf.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's very cool. Thank you, Psychodorf 9, brother, and thank you for the $2 super chat, man. Kicking butt and taking names.
Thank you, guys. Want to hear some breaking news, Loki?
What's breaking?
Breaking news just now. Telegram has just announced that Apple is taking the Telegram app off of the Apple Store, whatever the Apple iTunes, whatever the Apple App Store.
Really? Did they say why?
I don't know. My computer friends are just telling me this. I just got a message from them.
So Telegram is now off the Apple Store. Let me guess. All these companies run around in the same circles, patting each other on the back for how good they are. And now they're all trying to distance themselves from someone who just got arrested and owns the company. Maybe so that they can force him to sell someone that'll be a little more cooperative with them in the future.
Yeah. Hey, hello to Rod, who just came in here.
Rod Thunderheart. What's up, brother? He says, I got a new driving job. I'm running deck way up north to the mines. Ooh. Dude, drive safe. Especially
drive safe,
up north.
Man. Drive safe.
Crazy job. Rod. Keep driving. Keep riding. Keep trucking. Is that off all Apple app stores or just those in Europe?
So that's a good question. I don't know, and I just got a message, just a private message about that. So I'm not sure about the details. We can look on the news here. But it's people there. So the Apple's probably been threatened by the EU. And what Apple should do, Apple's Apple should push back is what they should be doing.
Yeah, but they're in bed with all these other companies that pretty much they shouldn't be. A lot of the stuff that Apple and Google and other companies do, it's not exactly legal because they all work behind the scenes to circulate their own popularity and wealth.
Yeah, and probably sharing data, user data that they shouldn't be sharing as well.
As Telegram CEO Pavel Durov was arrested in France on Sunday, fake reports about the app being removed from the Apple Store are circulating.
Oh, so those are fake, you think?
Why is Telegram not on App Store? Official app has been removed. Well, it had been removed because it had made inappropriate content. Oh, well, this says it is. This from the BBC. Give me just a minute and I'll pull this up real quick and we will We will look at this. Apple removes Telegram from App Store. Telegram is from the BBC, mind you. Telegram's official app has been removed. It had been removed because it made inappropriate content available to users, founder Pavel Durov said. Once we have protections in place, we expect the apps to be back on the App Store, he tweeted. When was this? Oh, this is in February of 2018.
Hold
on.
If it's very, very breaking, it might still not be in the news.
Was arrested. Fake reports about the app. Telegram CEO on Sunday was arrested in France on allegations that he neglected to moderate criminal activity on Telegram. Durov will be held for questioning for up to 96 hours, after which French officials will either charge him or release him from custody. Amid all this, there are several rumors circulating around Durov's arrest and Telegram's future. One of the most popular of these rumors is the alleged removal of the Telegram app from app stores. This is not true and is mere speculation. Some rumors also suggest the app will automatically be deleted from users' smartphones. Also not true. If you already have the app, you can always have the app. It's just whether they update it or give you support for it or not. That's their call. A lot of users on social media, including X, are circulating rumors about the app's removal from app stores, specifically from Apple's App Store. As per a report, users are sharing an old post online, which is possibly from 2021, when Telegram ban was reversed in Russia after it was blocked. Okay, so this says it's not. We'll wait and see. Okay. Who knows? God, I hate ads. It's like, click on me and read this.
Oh, I see what happened. The people who wrote me are getting it straight from Telegram, I think.
Oh.
That's why it's not.
Okay. Well,
we'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
We'll see. And of course, this is India today. So who knows how up to date they are.
Hello to the Angular boys. You're in Loki. Wow, I've never seen that you're in here before.
Gentlemen, what's up? What is up? Good to see you. Oh, that's the guy Culture mentioned last night. Yes. Who we're talking about now. Who was arrested. Yes. So, what can you do? What can you do in the midst of all of this? Because I know a lot of people like, Loki, I can't do anything about any of this. You can speak up. You can speak your mind. You can have your voice heard. But Loki, what if they come after me next for just saying that I don't believe in this or I don't believe in that? Because look what they did when the coup was going on. When we tried to talk about that, they came after me then. If you give up your right to do something, then you have given it up and you may never will get it back. So my personal suggestion is never stop squawking, never stop talking, never stop speaking your mind. Because as soon as you let them stop you, you've given that right away. You've given it to those who want to take it from you. So keep speaking your piece. Look, I brought up what would happen if whether I would still do this if I got demonetized tomorrow. Yeah, I'd still do it. I don't know how to pay for it, but I'd still do it. StreamYard's at least paid up for a year. I'd figure something out. I would work on something, some way to keep it going, some way to rebuild, some way to move forward. Would I still do my show on this platform? On this one, on YouTube? Yes. Would I still do it on Rumble? Yes. Would I still do it on X? You're dang right I would. Would I have to pivot and figure out how to pay for it? Yeah. But as long as it's paid for, you're dang right I'll keep doing it.
And like Adega says, they can't stop everyone.
No, they can't. They cannot stop everyone. No, they can't.
And if I can just add one thing to what if you add one ingredient to what Loki said, is engineer and I know this is kind of very personal growth on a spiritual level, but if you can engineer your vision of what you want, of your future, of the future you want, of the life you want, you can make you can bring things into reality. And it's important that's why it's important not to be negative and not to be upset and not to be depressive about these kind of things. You need to stay your focus, enjoy your life, and manifest, bring good things into your life, and create the future that you want, that bright future that you want for your family, for your kids, for your friends, for your business, for your channel, and for everyone.
And life's too short, guys. Let me tell you from someone who knows, who watched his splash before his eyes once. Life's too short. Don't let it get away from you, and don't dig yourself in a hole. That's the thing. Can we wake up one day and find ourselves in a hole that we have to climb out of? Sure. But there's a difference between, damn, I fell in a hole and I dug my own hole and tried to cover myself up. There is a difference. Okay? Climbing out of a hole that you accidentally fell into that you want out of, that's tough. Climbing out of a hole you buried yourself in, that can be impossible. So don't get there in the first place. Well, it can feel impossible. Don't get there in the first place. Don't put yourself in that position.
And that negativity and victimhood is a very bad thing, guys. Victimhood is a very bad thing, and that just that's like Loki's saying, like, instead of getting out of the hole, you're just making that hole deeper with victimhood.
Yeah, and we've talked about that on Mornings of Mischief a few times over the years. Is that victimhood? And they want victimhood to pay. Well, guess what? Victimhood doesn't pay. Not in the long run, it doesn't. Because people get found out and people figure it out. Makini, what is up with a Shiba Inu? And it's Spartan Hearts. It's a Shiba Inu. It's my favorite super sticker of all time. And it's a Shiba Inu. Spartan Hearts. Into the chat. Thank you, brother, so very much. Thank you for that. And thank you, Psychodorf9. We're going to throw you guys a skull before we get out of here. But what do we do? What do we do, PJ? We got Spartans. We've got Fremen Warriors. We've got Alf. We've got Benta.
Give him a good one. Give him a good one.
All right, guys. Thank you so very much. Skull!
You're a very funny man, senor.
I know. Darth Arlena, be an overcomer, not a victim. Rise above. That's right. Damn straight. PJ, what do you got? What do you got coming up? What do you got happening? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
We're going through some changes, and Sunday nights we're shifting our latchcom to the All Shift Happily stream, which is going to integrate some of the disclosure community into with the Orville community. And last night we were trying to do something. It didn't quite work out the way I want, but I'm going to do a little tweaking. And we're going to be talking a little more post-disclosure, and of course we're going to be talking Orville. But Orville Nation is now a inspiration TV channel. So Orville is some of our topic, and then we're going to be talking other stuff as well. And I want to thank you, Loki, for doing this uplifting. And I mean, we can talk about stuff and complain a little bit in certain moments, but overall, this is a very positive thing, a very positive stream, and I thank you for doing it, Loki.
Oh, thank you for guys. Don't let him fool you. He practically came up with the idea. I came up with the name. How about Positively Positive? But I mean, PJ is the one who came up with the idea for the show. And getting to work with him, getting to work with so many great people, that to me, that makes everything worth it. all the hard work, any sleepless nights or whatever, where you're trying to figure something out or work something out or whatever, makes it all worth it getting to work with people like PJ. Absolutely wonderful guy. So I don't think I don't think I'll be back today, but we will have Taco Tuesday tomorrow with Mexican Iron Man, where we will hassle him about his MILF runs. I'm gonna start calling that MILF runs instead of milk runs. It's MILF runs, where we get to hassle him and tease him and talk about all the things he does when he jumps out of the windows. So
and tomorrow, I think Mike gives you the recipe to make tacos from Alfie's tomorrow.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Absolutely. And we're going to give Arlena a toxic, some toxic masculinity on her way out the door for this morning. If I can find it, there it is. All right, guys, we're getting out of here. Stay safe. Be excellent to each other. Always speak, friend, enter. And we'll see you 2 Mondays from now on Positively Positive with Loki and PJ. Have a great Monday, everybody.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.